Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get you the insights you need fast.
Yeah, helping you understand the big topics quickly.
Exactly. And today, we're focusing on artificial intelligence, specifically which companies are really poised to benefit.
Right. And we're using a recent Motley Fool article as our guide, aren't we? 5 no-brainer AI stocks to buy in May.
That's the one. So the article kicks off with a pretty bold claim about AI.
Oh, yeah. That it could be the biggest economic shift since the internet. I mean, think about that.
It's huge. They're throwing around numbers like $15.7 trillion added to the global economy by 2030.
Wow. It really puts it in perspective. It's not just incremental change.
No, and the article points to AI's core capabilities like autonomous learning, machines figuring things out on their own.
And decision-making, problem-solving across loads of sectors. Healthcare, finance.
Manufacturing, entertainment, you name it. It's everywhere.
So our mission today is basically to pull out the key info on these 5 companies from the article.
Understand their niche in the AI world and, well, why the Motley Fool thinks they're worth looking at.
Let's dive in then. Who's first up?
First is Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. Now, most people probably think of Nvidia first when it comes to AI chips.
Sure, they're the big name. But AMD is positioned here as a serious competitor.
Especially in AI accelerators, those chips that really power the AI workloads.
And they've got this new chip, the MI325X. The article seems pretty high on it.
Yeah, highlights its memory bandwidth, which is basically how fast data moves around inside the chip. Crucial for generative AI.
Right, the AI that creates stuff, images, text, code.
And here's a big kicker. Microsoft. They're planning to use this AMD chip in their Azure cloud.
Okay, that's significant. Microsoft picking AMD is a massive vote of confidence.
Definitely boosts their visibility, shows the tech works at scale. And the article frames AMD as potentially a more cost-effective option compared to NVIDIA's top-end stuff like the H100 or H200.
So AI infrastructure demand is soaring.
Right. AMD becomes this high upside pick, as they put it. It really makes you think, could this Microsoft deal be the start of AMD seriously challenging NVIDIA's dominance?
It definitely signals that the market isn't just a one-horse race. AMD is providing a real alternative.
And that benefits everyone needing that processing power, which is, well, basically the entire AI ecosystem.
Yeah, it validates their strategy, their investment in this whole area.
Okay, so next up, a name everyone knows, Amazon. AMZN.
But we're not talking about packages on your doorstep.
No. We're talking Amazon Web Services, AWS, their cloud division.
Which the article calls a leader in AI infrastructure already.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty impressive. Q1 2025 revenue was $29.3 billion.
Up 17% from the year before. Solid growth.
And they're not just providing the servers and storage, they're developing their own AI now, too.
Right, the Nova family of models. You've got Nova Premier for complex stuff.
And Nova Sonic, which is focused on speech-to-speech.
It shows they're moving up the value chain, offering more than just the basic building blocks.
And they're integrating this AI into things we actually use.
Like Alexa plus using Nova Sonic. And that Rufus shopping assistant.
Yeah, that's widely available now. The article claims Nova Sonic has some real advantages, too.
Accuracy. Right. Something like 46.7% better in noisy places compared to rivals.
And supposedly cheaper to run.
Better performance and lower cost. That's a strong combo.
So Amazon's got the infrastructure with AWS, and they're building these advanced models.
And pushing them out to consumers. It's a pretty powerful kind of end-to-end approach.
Makes sense why the CEO, Andy Jassy, expects AI to push AWS way beyond its current, already huge revenue run rate.
Yeah, they're positioned to grab demand from businesses and regular people. It's a commanding position, really, controlling the infrastructure and the AI models.
Okay, third company, maybe less of a household name for some. ASML Holding.
ASML. Yeah, definitely not as flashy, but the article argues they're absolutely essential.
They make these things called EUV lithography machines, extreme ultraviolet.
They're the only ones who make them.
Which is key, because you need these machines to make the most advanced semiconductors, the really powerful AI chips.
Exactly. The article explains that EUV lets chip makers etch incredibly tiny features onto the silicon wafers.
Like microscopic circuit patterns.
And that level of detail is what you need for the high-performance AI requires.
So basically, ASML builds the super specialized tools
that everyone else needs to actually manufacture the cutting-edge chips.
Doesn't matter if it's Nvidia, AMD, Intel, whoever designs the best chip.
They likely need ASML's machines to produce it at the highest end. It's like selling the shovels during a gold rush, isn't it?
Great analogy. The article calls it a functional monopoly and a formidable economic moat.
Yeah, meaning it's incredibly hard for anyone else to compete in that specific area. They're a linchpin in the whole supply chain.
Their position seems incredibly secure, regardless of who wins the chip design race.
Definitely highlights a bottleneck, but also a point of immense leverage for ASML.
All right, number 4. Applied Digital Corporation, APLD.
Okay, so these guys are different again. Their focus is on the buildings themselves, the data centers.
But not just any data centers, high-performance ones specifically designed for AI.
Right, because training these huge AI models takes insane amounts of computing power. Lots and lots of GPUs packed together.
Which Applied Digital's facilities are built to handle dense deployments of those GPUs.
And the article mentions they're expanding aggressively, building new campuses.
With a focus on energy efficiency and cooling, which are huge issues when you run that much hardware.
Absolutely critical. Power consumption and heat are major challenges for AI data centers.
So Applied Digital is providing the specialized real estate, essentially.
Yeah, the physical infrastructure needed for the AI build-out, they benefit directly as demand for AI computing keeps rising.
The article calls it an infrastructure-level play. Makes sense. They're enabling the cloud providers and enterprises who need this specialized compute capacity.
Providing that scalable, cost-effective foundation.
Okay, last but not least, Meta platforms. Meta, Doc, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
And the article suggests a bit of a narrative shift here, from AI underdog to potentially a frontrunner.
Yeah, driven by their Llama 4 models, which are open source.
That's a key point. And these aren't just text models. They're multimodal handling images, video, audio, too.
Llama 4 Scout and Maverick are mentioned, and there's apparently an even bigger one, Behemoth, in training.
By making them open source, they're really encouraging developers and researchers to use and build on their tech.
And it's not just theoretical. Meta AI is apparently being used by nearly 1 billion people monthly across their apps.
1 billion. Wow. That's serious reach.
And WhatsApp specifically seems to be the main place people are interacting with it. Over 3 billion users there.
Integrating AI right into how billions of people already communicate. That's powerful.
Plus, they launched a separate Meta AI app back in April. Puts them in direct competition with OpenAI, Google.
Yeah, signals they're really serious about being a major player in the AI assistant space, not just embedding it in existing apps.
So the article's conclusion on Meta, they're well-positioned to lead in consumer AI, makes the stock look attractive.
That open source strategy is fascinating, though. Maybe less about immediate profit and more about getting widespread adoption first.
Could be a different approach. So looking back at all 5...
That's quite a mix, isn't it? You've got the chip guys, AMD.
The absolutely essential toolmaker, ASML.
The cloud and AI model giant, Amazon.
The specialized data center builder, Applied Digital.
And the consumer-facing application powerhouse, Meta.
Yeah, the article really touches on different layers of the AI stack. Hardware, infrastructure, applications. It's not just one type of company.
Gives you exposure to different parts of the whole value chain.
And underpinning it all is that belief in AI's massive economic impact.
Right. Each company is tapping into that potential growth from a different angle.
We should also quickly mention the disclosures in the article. Some Motley Fool board members are linked to Alphabet, Amazon, Meta.
And the analyst has positions in Microsoft and Nvidia. Plus, the Fool has recommendations on these and other stocks.
Just good context to have. Transparency.
Always important to know the source's potential connections.
Okay, so quick recap. AMD stepping up in AI chips. Amazon dominating cloud infrastructure and building its own AI. ASML, the indispensable toolmaker. Applied Digital building the AI-specific data centers. Meta pushing hard into consumer AI applications.
It's a really interesting cross-section provided by the Motley Fool, highlighting companies playing key roles across that whole AI ecosystem.
Definitely gives you a lot to think about. Which leads us to a final thought for you, the listener.
Considering these different layers, we've talked about the hardware foundation, the infrastructure, the actual applications people use.
Which layer do you think will see the biggest growth spurt in the next few years? Hardware, infrastructure, apps.
And how might these 5 companies or others shift and adapt as that landscape evolves?
It's certainly a dynamic space. Worth keeping an eye on these companies and the broader AI trends.